This lens very well could be the last lens I buy, and I'm here to tell you guys about it. My name is Lee Zavitz, and I'm a guest host this week on Gear Focus. And in my hands, I have my new favorite zoom lens, the Tamron 35mm to 150mm f2 to f2.8 VXD. So as you know, Gear Focus is a marketplace to buy and sell used camera gear, but what you might not know is that they're actually carrying new camera gear now, selling through mom and pop camera stores, and Tamron has officially been approved the sales of new lenses on Gear Focus, so stay tuned for those listings. Link will be in the description. This is a unique lens, not only because of its zoom range, but also because of its large maximum aperture of f2 to f2.8. You know, there's obviously lenses out there that cover the similar focal range, like a 24 to 105, but those lenses are typically f4. So I kind of want to give you guys a quick rundown on this lens, show you some image samples, and get you up to speed on everything you need to know about this lens. So it has a zoom range of 35 to 150, like I said before. It's designed for full frame Sony E-mount, but it'll obviously work with Sony's APS-C cameras as well. It has a large maximum aperture of f2 to f2.8, and then that stops down to f16 to f22. It has a 9 rounded blade aperture. It has 21 elements in 15 groups, so there's tons of glass in this lens, which makes it a little bit of a hefty boy, coming in at 1,165 grams or 2.57 pounds. The lens has a minimum focus distance of 13 inches when at 35mm and 33.5 inches when at 150mm. It also comes with a locking style pedal lens hood. And last but not least, it is an 82mm filter thread. So I've been shooting with this lens for a couple of weeks now, and I've got to say, it's a really nice lens to shoot with. It actually feels like a very premium lens. It actually feels closer to the build of like a Sigma art lens, and that's good. That's a good thing. When looking at that build, it's got nice materials. I think it's made out of plastic, but it's nice plastics. And the lens is also dust and moisture sealed with a rubber gasket on the mount. The zoom is nice and smooth. It's got a nice zoom ring, a nice focus ring, and it actually feels nicer than some of my G Master lenses. And the other cool thing is that this lens has some customizable features, and I'll talk about that in a second. So if you don't know, I'm primarily a portrait photographer, and for the most part I shoot with prime lenses, but I've actually found myself enjoying shooting with the zoom lens just because of the range. It's the perfect range for portraits. That 35mm to 150mm makes it ideal for most situations. Plus it's super sharp and has a really nice bokeh. And I've actually done a couple shoots with it now, and I've been blown away with the image quality. The focus is fast and smooth. They're using this new VXD linear motor system, and I had no issues with Eye Autofocus on the Sony a7 IV, and I also did some video tests, just walking towards the camera at different focal lengths, just to show how well it focuses in video. Something else also really nice to note is that the focus breathing isn't all that bad for a zoom lens. I tried it at 35mm all the way up to 150mm, and it's really well controlled. So clearly Tamron's built a really cool lens here, and the fun doesn't stop there because it has a USB-C port on the side, and you can update firmware that way as well as customize a few aspects of this lens. Now this port's open, and you're probably like, I thought you said it's weather sealed. Well, this port is sealed. It's kind of like a smartphone, how they seal the ports off, and it's waterproof. This lens obviously isn't waterproof, but it's weather sealed. It has 3 custom settings on the side that you can actually program with Tamron's utility software. So to connect the lens to your computer, you're going to have to use a USB-C cable, as I didn't see one that came in the box. You can make changes like the focus ring direction, or even change the focus ring to have a linear response. And once you do change it to linear, you also have the choice to change the focus throw all the way up to 360 degrees, which I've never seen on any lens. I set this lens to 180 degrees because I feel like that's my ideal amount of rotation I want on a focus ring. And as I mentioned, you have 3 custom modes you can program. I set mode 1 on this lens to actually use the focus ring as the aperture ring. That's just one of the things you can set it to. All in all, Tamron's made a really unique lens here, and I think it covers like the sweet spot, the perfect focal ranges. If you're a portrait photographer or an event shooter or even a wedding photographer, this covers all the sweet spots. Your 35 to 150. However, this lens isn't cheap. It comes in at a premium price tag of $18.99 US, but when you think about what this lens offers, it could potentially replace a 35mm prime, a 50mm prime, an 85mm prime, as well as like a 105. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me. You can find me over on my channel for more content like this. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Gear Focus. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around.